Bigfoot Collectors Club with Michael and Riley. I know a story of high strangeness or two. Let's do this.
Hello and Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Bigfoot Collectors Club is back with more stories about small town monsters and the hormone-fueled teenagers they love to torment. I'm your host, Michael McMillan, and with me always is your intergalactic corsair.
Corsair. I don't think I know that word. Riley Bray.
It's a pirate.
Oh.
A corsair's like
corsair.
a swashbuckling pirate. You're a space pirate.
Oh, I like that.
Space pirates are in right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Skeleton Crew. Have you watched it yet?
I have not.
The new Star Wars show?
No.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about it?
There's a wolfman pirate named Captain Brutus.
Okay. I like this. All right. You're selling
He's kind
it.
of like Blackbeard, but he's a werewolf.
Cool. All right. Wow, they're really just expanding that Star Wars universe. Just
Well, you know, there were werewolves in the original Cantina, in the original 1977 Star Wars. And then I think they may have gotten replaced because it was literally just like a mask they pulled off of the like Universal Archives.
Oh, right, for sure, yeah.
Or someplace.
Yeah.
And then when Lucas did the special editions in 97, he's like, I don't want any werewolves in here. No one's going to take it seriously. Let's put a big bug in here instead.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, they have Captain Brutus, and then there's a little elephant boy named Neil, who's just adorable. It's really good stuff.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Joining us to kick off 2025. By the way, did you ever say your name?
Riley Bray.
There you go.
Hey, guys.
One of the founding guests of BCC has returned. They first appeared way back in episode 5. That's well over 300 episodes ago.
Whoa.
What is that snake in the corner of the clubhouse?
You just noticed
I just
that?
noticed there's a stuffed snake
It's
up
a stuffed
there.
snake. It's from when it's from this Halloween. Caitlin and I went as Britney Spears and her snake from the VMAs performance. I was the snake. It came with my snake costume, so
It's nice.
Yeah.
We'll let you can talk whenever you want to, but let me go
let's
back
bring
and
him in. Let's bring him in proper.
Bring him back in.
Yeah.
He's freshly back from the Netherlands where he failed to make the locals laugh. From Modern Family, Superstore, Nobodies, and the world-famous Groundlings, Club Scouts of all timelines, please welcome back Kevin Kirkpatrick.
Ow!
Hello. Yeah, I didn't think I could speak until my name had been
No,
said.
it's okay. You can't, you've been on the show now. Are you a 9-timers?
I guess, but I've got theater in my bones.
Yeah, I know.
Until you announce me, I feel like there's a velvet curtain
There
in front of
is,
me, and
yes.
I can't step out yet.
I like
Respect
that
the format.
you seem to be enjoying yourself at the top of the show.
I do?
Who are you texting?
God, I have to switch an appointment.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Kevin, what's it like to be back in the good old US of A?
Thrilling. Mm-hmm. I love it. I've got sunshine in my life again. Mm-hmm. Friends in my life again. I'm surrounded by funny people. By the way, the reason I didn't make them laugh in Netherlands is because they're incapable of laughing in the Netherlands.
I have heard this.
They are rainy robots.
I'll tell you what though, their pastries are pretty good. I had a
Sure.
delicious croissant when I was there with you.
They know how to make beige pastries. Mm-hmm. But you won't find any like colorful, like you don't walk in and there's like raspberry filling and swirls of lemon. Like it's all just brown.
Are tulips the only colorful thing there?
That's it.
And they're what, a month out of every year?
Yeah. They have this huge festival. They turn like these tulip gardens into a theme park and sell these quite expensive tickets just to go walk around and look at tulips that are growing. And everybody goes. It is really cute, but they only do it for about maybe 4 weeks. And then we bought tickets and went, and then we got there and spent, whatever it was on these tickets. You commute an hour outside of the city to go to it. Then we get there only to then be told very matter of and unapologetically, oh yes, the tulips haven't bloomed yet.
Do you still get to walk around? Just
You're
nothing?
more than welcome to. They have the little food booth set up, and you're more than welcome to walk around and look at things that haven't bloomed yet.
It's like your whole experience in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It's a big metaphor.
It's so the metaphor for.
But you're
Yeah.
back. You're back in Los
back.
Angeles. You're back here in the clubhouse. This is the first time we've been recording in person since, 2019 probably?
Yeah, I prefer this.
Oh, yeah.
It's much nicer.
I am not good at anything that goes through a screen. I just, oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're casting a show on television. Boy.
Oh yeah, my shit doesn't translate through a screen. No, I mean I can't
Yeah.
work off of a screen.
Yeah.
Well.
Off your laptop.
I go a little like night in
You
my
didn't-
brain.
Yeah.
You didn't go to improv school to ad lib with a computer.
I did not master improv
Yeah.
to like sit and look at my dirty computer screen.
That is always what happens, isn't it? You're just like, oh, how does this get so dusty?
Did I
then you look
sneeze
down
on this or something?
You look down at your keyboard and you're like, what happened here?
Do you love an electronic wipe? I do.
I do. I'm out of them though. So I've just been using little just Kleenexes.
I've been using isopropyl alcohol
Okay.
on it's something that the pandemic, it like stuck with me, and now I just
Just
I
disinfecting
wash everything with isopropyl alcohol.
Now you're getting
Hands, face,
eyes.
eyes.
Mouthwash.
Yep.
Now you're getting settled in a new home,
Yes.
and I'm curious because sometimes when people move into a new house, they discover it's haunted. Any feelings of paranormal activity happening in your new house?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Really?
I think so. It's funny, when I first moved in, I got the best vibes. And my husband's not in town yet. And so I'm alone in the house. So let's not give out the address. But, I thought, well, surely I'll feel spooky. And there's a lot of windows in this house. It's just one of those older houses with just like lots of small windows. And I thought for sure I'd feel spooked, and I didn't for the longest time. I was like, this house has the best vibes. And then something shifted, and I think it's my backyard.
Okay.
And Michael was kind of probably baiting me on this story because he has heard this already. I've bent his ear on the creature that seems to be living in my
I did hear, a rumbling of this as well.
my hedge wall, if that's what you call it, between my neighbors and I. All you can see, you can't see a fence or anything. It's just a hedge wall, and the sound coming from in there is so unnerving. I'm already scared of coyotes, so I have my little dogs out there at night for the nighttime pee, and there is a sound coming from inside there that is minimum coyote-sized animal. And then when I listened to it, it was creeping around
What kind
in
of
there.
sound is it making?
I can't replicate sounds as
Is it like a crunching of leaves?
Yes,
Is it like
it's
a
a crunch-
breathing?
it's a crunching of leaves, and it is slow. So it's not like a little creature going, rustling around in there. It sounds like someone's very slow footfall. It sounds like someone trying not to make a sound, but they happen to be in a bed of dry twigs, and so there's no, but it's like crunch.
That's way scarier. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like that's the rhythm, and I'm like, someone is tiptoeing back there, and they're huge.
Whoa.
But how much space is back there for someone to be?
I didn't know because I couldn't tell, and I'm not. Once I heard that sound, I was like, well, I'm probably not going to stick my face into the hedge
tonight.
but I'm imagining what if it's like a hallway sized hedge thing in there? Like, what if there is room in there for someone to have set up a little?
You still haven't looked?
So first thing I did was the next night when I heard it again. At first I just fled. Next night I'm hearing it again.
Smart. Good move. Yeah.
So I go on.
Went to the Best Western.
So I have that's kind of the lowest level. I have a deck right above that, and up there is a hose. So I pulled this hose across the deck, turned it on jet mode,
yeah, warning shot.
and just jet streamed into the
bush ghost.
Nice.
And then I did it so long.
Did you hear?
Yes, and smoke. And then I heard nothing except all the water dripping in there then. So I was like, all right. And then I heard, and I was like,
No.
and I just was spiraling over this. And this went on for days. It really still was my best option to go out there and do a fast pee, but the pees were getting so fast. My dogs learned that my panicked state, they would go in 2 seconds, release everything, and then we'd go right back into the house.
Now, what are you thinking is in the hedge?
I thought it was, I don't want to say the wrong word. I've been out of the country, and I know everybody's very politically correct now, but
you thought maybe there was a person back there?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought there was a person who was unhoused. Is that the way I'm supposed to?
That's what we're saying these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was not a hobo. It was it was an unhoused person.
Okay.
I didn't know.
I thought maybe there was a ghost back there.
I know. My brain doesn't always go to that. My brain's usually like, no, it's a person.
Yeah.
A regular person.
That's what you're thinking.
A person like me, but who's just a little bit more murderous.
Yeah.
Right.
Living in the hedge.
And then the next few days later, my gardener, who's also a friend, was in the yard, and I went, oh, this has been going on. Now it's broad daylight, and I have backup.
Yeah, there's a man
I'm like,
around.
let's take a look. And so we look in there. You kind of have to dig in there, and we realize there is two fences.
Oh.
Like, if you reach in through the hedge, it's immediately a fence, like a chain link fence.
So no space.
And then a wood fence practically flush against the chain link. So both properties each have a fence that are touching.
Right.
And then you could tell, like, and then there's zero space.
Okay.
Zero space.
Yeah.
So then I was like, the biggest thing this could possibly is probably a rat, maybe a possum, but like, I'm thinking biggest. But I was like, the sound, that's crazy.
Just a rat practicing lazy somersaults in the middle of the night.
And then the story's almost done. But so then I was like, of course, my fears are completely eradicated. I'm like, oh, good. So now I have peace in my backyard again, doing my late night things still back there, peeing the dogs. And then last night, I heard it again. And once again, my brain's like, that is not something small. Mm-hmm. It is the full sound of something twice as large as Riley.
Whoa.
Like it's a huge, slow, crazy sound. And I got full crazy fear in my chest. So this is, now that I'm saying it, like beyond supernatural, because there's no room. Clearly there's a portal's what's in there.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you heard about stickmen?
No.
The stickman phenomenon. These are like tall, spindly, skinny beings.
So me?
Yeah, you know? Mm-hmm. If we stretched you out just a little bit more, by maybe a foot on each end, you'd be a stickman. Real skinny, like spindly. You know Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas, the dude with the big white head and the, what's this? There's something in the air. That guy. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
But like a real, people report seeing them.
Amazing.
So maybe you got a stickman back there.
Well, what the important thing is what works against stickman. Because apparently a hose.
He has garden hoses,
Yeah.
apparently. Nothing.
And you know when you're so crazy in those moments?
Yes.
And I said something to the effect of, come on! And I clapped really loud. Like
That's your
I was-
version of Get Thee Back, Satan.
yeah, I was just so mad, so tired of being scared of whatever's in there.
You're ready to fight
that I
the
got
stick
so
man.
aggro.
From your bedroom window, you
no,
said it?
No, from a foot away from the hedge wall when I had my dogs out there.
We got to set up a trail cam back there. Or
Let's go. Come over.
okay, we'll do this.
I think we will do a podcast from the deck.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we can catch the actual
and
sound.
we're going to catch it. We're going to
Yeah.
have cameras. We're going to figure this out. And my neighbors, I'm dying to talk to them about this. And it sounds like it's on their side.
Well, mate, could it be one of them sleepwalking on the other side of the fence?
No, because I've gone, hello, like so many times.
Why are you speaking in a different voice
that's
every time you
that's the
call out?
intimidating homeowner voice right there.
Let me explain something to you that I bet all gay men and women do. Because those of us any gay man who's like grew up like wondering, or am I macho enough? You don't naturally think your regular voice is threatening enough. So you go, yeah, you get down here. By the way, Edie Patterson has the best story. Where I'll do the one-liner.
Okay.
Where she was home alone a billion years ago somewhere when she was living with roommates, but she was the only one home, and she heard something. No, she was at her parents' house, and she heard something outside the door. Someone was literally banging the screen door like they were trying to get in, and she was so fucking scared. She's home alone in this small town, and her tactic was to go up to the door and go, "What's up?" We laughed so hard about that being her choice of words.
Because it's kind of inviting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sort of broy.
Yeah.
I think it's like you're trying to hide your fear. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
My tactic, I go through all these scenarios. My tactic has always been, if there's a home invasion and someone's in my house, I have this plan forever. I shouldn't be saying this on here in case one of your listeners breaks in.
Wants to
Yeah.
defeat you.
Now they know your secrets.
But I was always thought what I would say was, if I heard them come in and I'm like upstairs, I would yell, "Hey, Benny, we got one, boy." Something to where they thought they were outnumbered and this was our plan for them to
all
come in the
along.
house.
Yeah.
This Dave stepped into a horror movie scenario.
Yeah.
It's like the ironic burglar is now like the hunters become the prey
Yes.
situation. Yeah.
Why would they stick around to figure out that? I think they would just go, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
Just get out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I've definitely thought if like anyone ever pulled a gun out on me or a knife and tried to mug me, I would just be like, like I would just go totally nuts.
Yeah.
Like a wild cartoon character just to completely freak them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just immediately shit yourself.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear one more hilarious thing that's again off brand?
Of course. Always.
But in exactly line with what you were just saying. This is awful. So I grew up in
I think this works for Bigfoot attacks too. So
Okay.
that's fine.
yeah.
The idea is this as a tactic to prevent Bigfoot from getting you is so funny. It's funny anyway. I grew up in the late 70s, 80s, in Texas. And in my elementary school, we were pushed into the main cafeteria or somewhere for an assembly on safety because there had been... in the town, there had been an abduction or something, very sadly, and so they thought they needed to do an assembly to help all the kids.
This is also prime
Whoa.
Phantom Clown time period. This
That's
is
true.
like late 70s, early 80s.
Very possible. Well, some woman got up in front of the entire school, this Texas woman in the 80s, and she said, "If y'all ever think somebody is coming towards you and you're in your yard playing and somebody's coming and you think they're a threat and they're going to abduct you, I want y'all to drop to the ground and just start eating grass like you're retarded." That was exactly what she said.
That's very 80s.
Yeah. She's like, they won't want you. Like, she was awful. Like, looking back now, I'm like, what?
Yeah. To like a classroom full of
And
children.
we all were like, great, okay. And we would talk about it when we were playing. We're like, if somebody comes by, dude, just drop on the ground and just start eating grass and acting like you're so
Hungry for grass.
challenged.
Because then the
Wow.
kidnappers won't want you.
Yeah.
Is the lesson.
It's just couldn't
That's
be more.
so many wrong lessons.
So many things wrong.
It's the layer cake of wrong
This
lessons.
is why
But so many things wrong.
fucked
But
up. This is how
but-
we were raised
but
by
is there a
these people.
slight
Yeah.
chance that it would work?
I think just eating, I don't think they need to jump to any conclusion of like why you're eating grass. I just think the fact that you're eating grass is enough to freak them out.
Yes.
Like that's a bold move.
Yeah. It throws
know?
them off.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, I
But,
don't
yeah.
like it, but
I know you don't like it, we don't. But I thinking back on it now, I'm just horrified that they would.
also, what scenario did this woman read about, or like, is this a tactic she tried as a child and
I'm
it worked?
fascinated to know.
Where did she get this plan from?
I think 100% from her own brain.
Definitely. Yeah. And she's
I
got this
think-
whole idea profile of the kidnappers. They're like, they don't want those kids.
Eat
Yeah,
grass.
yeah.
Yeah. They don't want those grass eating kids.
This is just every bit of that thinking is so like Texas in the 80s to me. It's
Yes.
just like,
It's like every other word along the way
Mm-hmm.
is just misguided.
yes.
Wow.
Awful.
That's one of those images that will stay with me for the rest of my life. And you know what? I'm going to try it.
Well, if Bigfoot's ever coming,
Bigfoot loves grass, though.
yeah, that would probably just incite him.
Yeah.
Turns out that's like a mating ritual in the Bigfoot community.
Yeah. Could be worse.
Things take a turn.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we have more Kevin Kirkpatrick and some spooky stuff. All right, Kevin. We have a story of high strangeness this week, but before we get to it, I thought it would be fun. Oh, you know what, Riley?
What,
While we're thinking
Michael?
about it, why don't we nominate our 5-star Club Scout of the Week? Because we forgot to do that at the top of the show.
Let's do that.
This is a friend of ours, Kevin, who listens to the show and gave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and helps to, boost the show's profile.
Cute.
Well, this is from Royal Vampire 21! Exclamation point. Tried to pronounce it. The review is Big Feet and More. I love me some big feet, aliens, ghosts, oh my. P.S. Hope y'all are having a great day out there. 5 stars.
I love the little wish at the end.
Very nice.
Hey, have a
yeah.
nice day.
Also, good day from a vampire. Maybe there's a longing in that,
Good day. Oh, yeah.
The day that I shall never see
Yeah,
again.
that I'll never be able to experience. This is also very topical as we're recording this because Big Feet, aliens, and ghosts. Oh my, it's very Wizard of Oz, which of course the hit, the movie that's all the rage right now is Wicked.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
I haven't seen it.
I'll have seen
Look
it
at
by
us.
the time this drops.
Nor have I seen the musical.
Me either.
Me neither. I told my fiance I know 2 things about Wicked. One of them is and popular. Those are the only 2 things that I know.
I just know about the holding space conversation in the press junket. You guys saw that, right?
No.
Oh, it's great. You should look that up.
Okay.
I won't bother explaining it.
Got it. Holding space. Okay, let's kick off 2025 with some personal paranormal history submitted by a listener. Let's dip into the L-Files. I don't think we're going to have a regular L-Files episode this month, so I thought it would just be good to wet our whistles.
Well, how about I do a little live? Take it back to where it started, Emily.
Oh, yeah.
I got this synth here.
All right, tell us what you're pulling up close to you.
Oh, yeah.
Got the Moog 1, baby.
Love it.
I'm ready for some spooky
I
scores.
feel like a UFO just landed over the house.
Oh, my God. I was picturing Taylor Swift emerging slowly from under the stage.
That'd be amazing. She's just here in the living room with us.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We had Taylor Swift, but we decided to make Kevin the guest anyway.
If anyone knows Taylor, they would love to have her on the show.
We would love to
Yeah.
have you, Taylor. Come
We'd
on.
love to have you, Taylor.
Assuming she's listening.
Hello, Michael, Riley, and Kevin. Love you guys. Love the podcast. I'm just going to jump right in. I work in sales and have done so for more than a decade. A skill necessary for this trade is the ability to strike up a meaningful conversation with literally anyone. This is made more entertaining by the fact that I sell wine. While at a new account, I recognize esoteric, spiritual, and occult symbology on the tattoos and jewelry of the bartender. An easy conversation starter for me. Over the course of a few weeks, we developed a relaxed, platonic relationship peppered with harmless flirting. One night, sometime later, I found myself in a lucid dreaming state. I had only just begun to explore where my subconscious had taken me when a sensation like I was accelerating for takeoff on a passenger jet ripped me away. I found myself somewhere unlike anything I'd ever imagined, and that bartender was there with a knowing smirk. Let's just say we were in a rather promiscuous situation. No harm here, I thought to myself. This is just a dream. Just as we say, well, let's say, began to dance. By the way, that sounds dirtier than just saying what you
Just,
did.
just say the thing.
Just say the thing. She reeled back and said, "Oh my God, you're married. I can't do that again." She quickly turned around
Again.
and walked away. Almost immediately, that same ripping sensation returned, and I was now lying awake in bed. I chalked the whole thing up to an odd dream. Perhaps I wasn't as lucid or as fully in control as I had presumed in the moment. About a week later, I was back at that account. When I made my way to say hi to her, she wouldn't look at me. She avoided me and actively ignored me. I didn't understand what was going on. Maybe I had said something to upset her the last time I was there? I didn't press the issue right then, but the following week, when our interactions were still the same, I had to try to find out if everything was okay. "I'm sorry," she said, looking me directly in the eyes. "I won't do that to you again." She held eye contact, I think waiting for me to realize what she was saying. And when satisfied, she turned and walked away. Like an anvil falling on my head, I was reminded of the dream I had just experienced. Only now I'm not so sure it was my dream I experienced. Possibilities I'd never considered began whirling around my head. I began to wonder about all the people I'd spawned into existence in my own lucid dreamscapes. I don't know what to think. Is it possible we can do that sort of thing? What true power do we hold in our lucid dream states? How connected are all of our consciousnesses at that level? This was 3 years ago, and I'm still shaken by the whole thing. I hope this wasn't too long. I'd love to hear all your thoughts on this experience. Thank you guys so much for what you do. P.S. Riley, that Low Flying Hawks track is a Knuckle Dragon Riff Stampede. Thank you so much for sharing.
They are a good band.
QW.
Q-Dub.
Q-Dubs. All right.
Okay, wait. So are we trying to say that, is QW trying to say that this woman entered his dreams? Is that what is,
She pulled him into her
I
dream?
think that I think if we're taking the story at face value based on the clues, that he had been in a high frequency lucid dream state that may have made him ripe for the plucking of this astral traveler who is this sexy, esoteric, occult practitioner, bartender.
right.
So maybe she was thinking about him, he was thinking about her, and she just pulled him from that astral plane to have a little, shall we say, dance among the stars. And then she realized, oh, this guy's married. Because for her, it was like really happening, but in like the psychic realm. I think I don't think he created her and pulled her there. I think she pulled him there.
That's what I got.
He said he was being ripped. What's your take, Kevin?
That's what I got too, yeah. She's a dream wolf. Technically, that's what they're called.
Is that the official term?
Yeah.
I think
She
they're
preyed
called-
on him.
I think they are actually called dream walkers. They're people who can walk into other dreams.
This would be the best movie. Has this been a movie?
This seems like it would be a Stephen King book
Yeah.
or short story.
Small
if it
town
hasn't been done.
occult bartender.
I like that you correct me by saying, no, a Stephen King book. Like, those don't always become movies.
Well, I was trying to say, like, maybe it just hadn't been adapted yet.
Yeah.
Let's look it up. Is there Dream Walker movies? It's talked about a lot in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, but we learned that when the dreams are actually parallel dimensions that we enter when we sleep.
Can we say that QW, the wine rep, has quite a command of the language and wields his pen ever so deftly?
I would agree.
Loved
Agreed.
his writing. It was like a delicious bath.
So IMDb,
As was Michael's reading
Thank you.
and the accompaniment.
Delicious bath all around.
Dreamwalkers. This is a movie that pops up on IMDb. It's a sci-fi synopsis. A family must protect the last person who can dream from the corrupt government that has outlawed dreaming in order to keep their nightmares from becoming a dangerous reality.
Okay.
I don't see a lot more about it other than that.
Nah, that's different.
Weird stuff. I guess Q-Dubs, you could always say, hey, wait a minute. I need a little more information. Did that actually happen? Or is it just me? Like, maybe this does warrant a further conversation.
Yeah, I would say maybe a follow-up.
Maybe just instead of just like watching her walk away, go, one quick question. Did you pull me out of my sleep into your dream?
Quick
to seduce
question
me?
before I accuse you of rape and we go into the legal system
Are
to sort
you
this
a
out.
dream wolf?
Wow, that's cool.
Because she said, like, I won't do that to you again, sort of wink, wink. That was the...
I think she was.
That's what we gathered
No,
from
she
that.
winked at him when they were kind of like in the dream.
But she said, I won't do that to you again.
But I think she was earnestly like, I won't do that to you again.
Gotcha.
But I think that warrants a follow-up
Be
conversation.
like, by that, did you mean?
Pull me into your dream.
Did
where
he
she
not
just-
immediately ask her what she meant? Oh,
Yeah,
he said
totally.
she just-
my favorite part in his story was he said she stared at him after she said it until she was satisfied, and then walked
and he
away.
got it.
I'm like, what does that mean?
QW, this is a real you know what? Kevin's right. You're great with words. It's time to use them in an actual conversation.
Yeah.
Find out. Get back to us.
Because there is also the potential read of this that maybe she just wasn't as into the flirting as he was, and
That's
this is
true.
all a very large misunderstanding.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, I won't flirt with you again. Sorry."
Oh.
and it's like not even she has no idea about
Yeah.
the stream or any of this.
No.
So there is that possibility. So tread lightly,
Yes.
QW
Yeah,
is what I'm
QW.
saying.
I
Or
don't know.
she like they both had arrived at the bar at the same time, and she like accidentally kind of cut him off and took the parking spot.
Right,
Yeah, she's
exactly.
like, I
yeah,
won't
it
do
could
that
be
to you
We'll do
anything.
that again.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Look,
Maybe she stared at you waiting for a response that you never gave her, QW, and then she walked away like, I knew this guy was weird.
Just say, step out of yourself and
Yeah.
have
The
a look.
Take a look around. Take
it in.
take a look from zoom out and take a look at the picture, and then let's decide if it was a dream wolf scenario.
To be safe.
I love the idea that if you saw CCTV like footage of the whole interaction at the bar, that everyone's behaving normally except QW is just staring and strange, and everyone's like sorry and apologize. They're just like don't know how to deal with it.
Slowly raising a glass of wine to his lips and slowly putting it back down.
Yeah. No, I believe in this shit actually, and
I do too.
I'm the resident
Yeah.
skeptic. But when it gets into this dream stuff, because I have dreamed, and I have had coincidences in terms of dreams and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy for me to believe because I've had some experience that some weird shit can be going on between people and dreaming and things like that.
And we do seem to have some evidence that she's into the occult based on her tattoos.
Right. Yeah.
She could be a witchy woman.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah. She had esoteric and occult tattoos.
What is
That's like,
what is why?
well,
what is
she probably had
esoteric?
like
Got like a-
sigils and
yeah,
symbols.
Pentagram, maybe.
And, yeah. Spooky stuff.
Oh yeah,
Like a skull and a
dark
snake.
lady.
Some witchy stuff. But fun witchy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I met a lot of bartenders with pentagram tattoos
True.
and such.
I don't know if they're all dream wolves.
Yeah, you never know. But,
You never know.
you never know.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's time for some high strangeness with our dear friend, Kevin Kirkpatrick. Okay, Kevin, I lied to everybody a moment ago. I said it was time for high strangeness, but I actually think it would be fun to revisit a game that we like to play. I'm going to go down a list of phenomenon, rapid fire. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a little paranormal temperature check. See where you're at. Mm-hmm. Because we definitely didn't do this the first time you were on the show.
Did it even exist?
Did
when
not
he was on the
exist.
show? Yeah.
And then we did it. We did a very short Patreon episode where I think we did it on the Patreon. So I don't think our non-Patreon members have ever heard you play bullshit.
Or believe it.
Okay.
All right, if you're open to it, you're going to say believe it. If you're not open to it, you're going to say bullshit. You only have one choice right now.
Okay.
Two choices.
Okay.
Okay, Kevin Kirkpatrick. On
I
your
apologize in advance
On your
for
mark.
my opinions.
Get set. Ghosts.
Bullshit.
Bigfoot.
Believe it.
UFOs.
Bullshit.
Mothman.
Bullshit.
ESP.
Believe it.
Chupacabra.
I don't know enough. I've heard that name a lot, but I don't know if I really. Is it an animal?
It's a goat sucker of some kind.
A goat sucker?
It's like the least useful explanation.
In West Texas, they kind of look like
Like it sucks off goats?
it sucks
sometimes.
their blood. Yeah.
Oh.
In West Texas, they kind of look like hairless coyotes. In
Bullshit, man.
Okay.
Bullshit.
The Abominable Snowman,
Bullshit.
Ouija boards,
Bullshit.
the Loveland Frogman,
Bullshit.
Hopkinsville Goblins,
Now I'm just guessing. I don't know any of these things.
just based on the sound of it.
Bullshit.
Skunk Ape. He's the Bigfoot of Florida.
Likes apples.
Hangs
Bullshit.
out in the swamps.
Bullshit.
Hollow Earth.
Bullshit.
The Loch Ness Monster.
Bullshit.
Crystal balls.
Bullshit.
The Beast of Busco, a giant turtle.
Bullshit.
Out-of-body experiences.
Oh, believe it.
The Michigan Dog Man.
Bullshit.
Tarot cards.
Bullshit.
Wendigos.
And you and I went through the tarot
Shots
card
fired.
experiment.
We'll circle back.
Yeah.
Wendigos.
I don't know what that is.
It's
Is that like a Winnebago?
Well, if a Winnebago's 8 humans.
Well, I guess it would be if a Winnebago ate other Winnebagos.
Yeah, if a Winnebago ate another Winnebago,
And it'd be a Winnebago Wendigo.
and then it became a
Winnebago.
Winnebendigo.
Winnebendigo.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Believe it.
Life on other planets.
Oh, well, believe it.
Life after death.
Believe it in some fashion.
Great, Kevin Kirkpatrick. Really coming down hard on tarot cards there, huh?
Yeah, because we had an experience
I don't know about this. I want to hear about it.
upon
the story.
meeting Michael in New Orleans, one of the witchiest places.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. I mean, we'd known each other for a few weeks at this point. We were filming
Had
Beauty
we?
and the Beauty and the Briefcase.
I was going to say we met and you immediately drugged me into it.
Come with me this way.
But yeah, as I was getting to know him, we made a trip to a tarot card reading house, and he went in and got a reading from someone while I went in and got my reading from another.
So we're in 2 separate tarot
Rooms.
readers. Yeah,
It's like a massage parlor of
Yeah,
tarot readings.
what it sounds like.
Get whisked away to a room.
And I had a pretty standard tarot card. You know, nothing mind blowing, but like, okay, this all kind of adds up.
When you came out, you were pretty jazzed.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair.
Which made me very upset because I had such a poor experience. I went in the room with this old man with the glassiest, drunkest eyes I'd ever seen on this planet. His eyes were so big and wet, they were about to just right out of his skull. And he had these cards and he was just slurring and he was so drunk and he was so old. And he started, and I didn't have much experience with this. It may have even been my first tarot reading.
Okay.
He
It
started,
was.
Okay, it was
I
mine.
remember you saying you'd never done it before.
He started flipping the cards face up on the table, and they're, of course, all different, right? Different cards. And each one, he stammers out, "Oh, money, you're going to get rich. Oh, rich. Oh, money." And they all somehow meant the same thing. And he was
just putting them in a pile.
he was putting them in a big, messy discard pile. Not even a neat, just chucking them on the table over and over. But I was like, I didn't know. But I was like, after a while, I'm like, oh, okay. Every one means the same thing. So I left and I was kind of irritated.
No,
And then,
you were. Oh, okay.
yeah, but
Okay.
I was ready to be beyond irritated, but I was like questioning, should I be? And then Michael came out and was like, oh my God. He was talking about the columns she was lining the cards in and how they correspond, and this meant that one. And then I realized this motherfucker didn't even give me the show, whether
Yeah.
it's real or not. And I waltzed over to the counter
You
so
sure
upset,
did.
and I demanded my money back.
Well, his prediction came true.
It's true.
Oh my
Fuck,
God.
dude, it's true.
The
But you know,
snake
all he
ate its
wanted
tail.
was for me to feel like I was about to get rich so that I could give him a big fat tip, like he's somehow responsible.
Right.
Kevin, I also want to co-host a paranormal show with you called Beyond Irritated. And it's just us doing paranormal things and you just getting annoyed and then upset by the end of it.
I get upset with a lot of paranormal talk, and I get actual violent anger watching magicians.
Well, a magician shot your parents in front of you.
That's true. That's true. No,
How
I
you
don't
became Kevin
me and Harry
Kirkpatrick.
Potter.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like to be tricked.
Is that kind of what pisses you off? I
think
you think you're
so.
smarter than me? What's your fucking problem?
I think so. There's no way that man's kidneys are alive today. I'll tell you that much.
I just like that he was putting them in a little pile.
Yeah.
Money.
Money!
Money, big money.
Big money.
What's up? All right. It's the moment where we've all been waiting for.
The next story? Oh,
Time
Ooh.
for this week's High Strangeness.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, everybody pulls out their pee-pee.
In 1923, a mysterious winged creature fell upon the small towns of Richford and Berkshire, Vermont. If the stories are to be believed, These cozy hamlets in rural Vermont became the hunting grounds of a large, gray, griffin-like beast so unbecoming, its name said it all. This is the story of the cryptid called the Awful. Richford, Virginia is a tiny town near the border of the U.S. and Quebec. In 1930, the population of Richford was around 2,500. Those numbers have actually decreased since then. In 2020, there were only about 2,300 folks living there. So it's safe to say that in this tiny town in Franklin County, Vermont, not much has changed in the last 100 years since its first encounter with the Awful. The trouble started in 1923 when 3 sawmill workers were walking across a bridge at dusk and were shocked to see a large, grayish creature with a 20-foot wingspan perched atop the Boride building on the corners of Main and River. Looking like a devilish beast fresh from the depths of Dante's Inferno, the men noted details like its serpent-like tail that equaled its wing length and huge claws that could easily grip a milk can's girth. Terrified by the uncanny sight, one of the men had a heart attack where he stood. The beast did not attack, however. It just watched the men as they picked their friend off the dusty road and carried them home. The story goes that for weeks following the encounter, the man who survived would wake in the middle of the night, unleashing agonizing screams, traumatized by the sight of an unearthly creature in his quiet hometown. Over the next few months, word spread of a monster flying in the skies over Richford, a place where the most exciting thing to happen up until now was a grain elevator explosion in 1908 that killed 13 people. Now, there was a new kind of terror causing locals to walk briskly outdoors, always keeping a wary eye above. Farmers claimed to see the Awful making lazy circles over their fields. One eyewitness reported seeing the creature flying 50 feet above a field in Berkshire, clutching a wailing infant in its talons. Although it's widely thought that this was probably some kind of animal, since no babies were reported missing. One Richford housewife, Oella Hopkins, claimed that she was hanging her laundry on the clothesline when her dog started yelping wildly. Following her canine's pointed gaze, she saw the big, gray griffin creeping along the roof of her porch, glaring down at her and her pet. Terrified, Mrs. Hopkins dropped the laundry basket, grabbed the dog, and ran into the house where she hid under the bed, trembling for hours. By the end of 1925, sightings of the Awful began to dwindle, but the case allegedly caught the attention of the young horror writer and problematic historical figure, H.P. Lovecraft. According to a 2006 article in the County Courier, Lovecraft visited Richford and interviewed eyewitnesses back in the 1920s. Lovecraft wrote that the townsfolk were not in the least mistaken about what they had witnessed. The Awful became ample sustenance for my imagination. Over time, the creature became the basis for many of my own fictional inventions. The legacy of the Awful didn't just live on in fictional horror stories. Although sightings died down by the end of the 20s, they didn't completely stop. In that same 2006 article, a quote-unquote respected citizen from Richford told author H.P. Aberelli Jr. that he'd seen the creature swoop out of nowhere and pluck a large crow from a nearby tree.
I didn't believe my eyes. But when the thing circled my house, well, then there was no denying it. I remember my grandfather once talking about that thing, but I thought it was just a story, a tall folk yarn. What I saw was no yarn. Yarns don't fly, and stories don't look like that. What I saw was real, and I hope to high heaven I never see it again.
One more question for you, respected citizen. Now these talons, how much girth could they hold in their grip?
That thing could have picked up a school bus full of fat children and flown it several miles away before getting tired from the grip.
Great, we have everything we need. Thank you.
Any more details you need?
No, we have enough. Thank you.
Great.
Why are you looking at me that way?
Waiting to see if you need more from me.
Are we going to stare at each other until you're satisfied?
I'm not working these days, so
Okay.
I'm happy to hang out and be of assistance.
You know what? If you just want to sit around and listen quietly, that's fine.
Great,
But we got your quote.
great.
Other eyewitnesses came.
Huge wings.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
There's a log over there if you want to go sit on that. Oh, look! It's the offal.
No, it didn't.
It's not looking. Okay, well, other eyewitnesses came forth, including a woman who had claimed to see the offal as a child sitting in a tree near Trout River. The woman said that it had a strange beak and reminded her of a pterodactyl. Edith Green, a local dowser, told Aberelli that the town had never really gotten over the fear of the offal. In the early 2000s, there were reports of the creature residing near the Gabo area. Another unnamed man claimed that he'd seen it in the Slide Road area and that you'll hear the cry of the beast as a herald of its arrival. If the offal is still out there, it doesn't appear to be of any threat to humans. Most stories repeat the same thing. It likes to watch, but it never attacks. Like many other cryptids of legend, it mainly seems to want to keep to itself. And that is the story of the offal.
I like watching.
Okay,
too.
oh, yes. Could you please go home now?
Sometimes I'd rather watch.
People
than
say
get
you're
involved.
respected in this town.
That's right.
It's a small town. Well, what do you think?
How did it get the name The Awful? It doesn't seem like it really did anything.
It
I know
just
what's an unfair name.
Yeah. It's just kind of a name that started getting passed around because it was so scary looking. It was awful. You know, this I like a name like this because it's more, you know, it's pre-Bigfoot, so it's really just kind of setting a tone. Mm-hmm. You know, it's either that or the Snallygaster.
This is pre-Bigfoot?
Pre-Bigfoot. Well, pre-coinage of the name Bigfoot. There were some wild men and Bigfoot type stories that were coming out by the 1920s, but yeah.
Okay.
And this is on the other side of the country that a lot of those were happening on. This is up in Vermont. I like the idea of a griffin as a cryptid. Do y'all know much about griffins? I got some information on griffins if you want to hear about it.
I can't say that I do know really anything.
What do you know about griffins, Riley?
Part bird, part monster?
Is it part lion, part bird?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I never know stuff, and I knew it.
It's a mythological creature where the back half is that of a lion and the front half is that of an eagle.
Is this where we get Gryffindor?
That's right. Because they're
Okay.
in a lot of mythology.
Got
But a griffin is kind of like the mullet of monsters. You know, it's business up front, party in the back.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like that. Yeah.
Right?
It's the mullet monster.
So, griffin or griffin with a PHON comes from the ancient Greek, late and medieval Latin. It's got the body, tail, and back legs of a lion and the head and the wings of an eagle with its talons and the front legs. They were because lions were originally or traditionally considered to be the king of beasts, the eagle, the king of the birds. By the Middle Ages, the griffin was thought to be an especially powerful and majestic creature. So you're
Double king.
double king. That's kind of cool, right? But it shows up in ancient Persia, in Greek mythology, in Egyptian mythology, in medieval folklore. Griffins are all over the place. But they're just cool. They're cool figures.
And this one town.
And this one town.
Right. What is your take on this thing? What is
This one boring little town.
Boring little.
Nothing had happened interesting, except maybe that grain elevator that blew up and killed 13 people.
Yeah, we really did just sort of gloss over that.
I mean,
I know.
yeah. Usually that expression is like, nothing's happened here since the grocery store ran out of apples for a few days. Like, a grain elevator blew up, and why was there 13 people in a grain elevator?
I know, that was half the town. That reminded me actually of another famous cryptid story, the Mothman, a winged creature in a small-ish town and around an infrastructure collapse that killed people.
Yeah.
So maybe this is one of those things where around the time, I mean, it's a little too late, but in places where these infrastructure failures have killed people, there seems, there's a winged humanoid associated with the town.
So this is a proto Mothman, perhaps.
Proto Mothman, maybe.
Like unnatural death.
Yeah,
brings in these.
This harbinger of doom.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
maybe because this happened before the awful showed up, maybe it's some sort of like manifestation of the collective trauma of the town. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's called the awful. I mean, I can't imagine that a lot of people in Richard, Vermont in the 1920s knew how to talk about their feelings. So if something bad really happened, maybe they, a monster sort of generated as a way to describe how they felt about that, which is awful.
Oh, now this is, again, feeling like Texas in the 80s.
It all comes full circle, right?
I miss my Uncle Larry. No, we don't talk about that. Look, it's a cat with a beak flying in the sky. Oh, it's scary.
Perfectly awful, that is.
Why are you eating that grass?
Yeah.
That's only for strangers, not for cats with beaks. I don't know. We also, around this time period, there seems to be a lot of flying winged monster stories. There's like the Gloucester Ghoul near this period, the Snallygaster story. There's another cryptid story around this time of a flying creature that I can't remember. The Van Meter Visitor is happening close to this time. So there's a real trend in, I would say, the early 1900s to the late 1920s of flying creatures, almost dragon-like creatures seen in the U.S. And we have stories of thunderbirds, giant birds that seem to be inexplicable as to how they could exist or how they haven't been documented. And there are stories of creatures that look like pterodactyls or pterodons, relic dinosaur birds flying around. So I don't know. I don't know why. It could also be a proto-UFO story, too, where the thing that we're seeing up in the sky and landing on our farms is not a flying saucer, but some sort of monster with wings.
Do you think this has to do with sort of like the development of flight in this era?
Could be.
Where people are sort of seeing these winged creatures, like that's what's on people's minds is
maybe
sort of early planes, and that's how it's associating.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. This stuff is weird, right? That's all there is to it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is this didn't really seem to have like a ton of newspaper articles at the time. It doesn't sound like a story that was like trying to, sell papers. They were making it up to sell papers. And it sounds like the town kind of still holds, at least up until the early 2000s. I couldn't find much about it recently.
Right.
2006 is sort of the latest reference I can find. But
could this have also just been a very large bird?
It could have been a big old bird.
Right.
But I like the description. I like this idea of this thing perched and staring at people and not really striking.
Yeah. Until it was satisfied.
Yeah. Until it was satisfied. It all comes together, doesn't it?
It really does.
Well, any final thoughts on the awful, Kevin?
No.
Okay. Great. Riley?
I think it maybe was like a big bird.
Big bird?
Yeah.
All right.
Isn't it too bad that we've evolved to, and look, I'm the biggest skeptic, but skinny skeptic.
You are both those things.
Yes. But it seems like we've stopped being a society where if somebody tells a story, other people start telling that story too and saying it happened. Like it feels.
Me too. I saw it carrying a baby.
People seemed very comfortable in the old days of like, I don't know if it's like photography and proof. It wasn't a proof culture as much, right? They love to tell a yarn.
Although I would argue that online culture is all about repeating and passing along little memes and stories and building a larger conspiracy theory around it without any proof whatsoever. So I think we still I still think it's human nature to like create folklore and big stories in the moment, whether it's mass hysteria or not,
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
I think it's just all online now for the most part.
When AI is fully capable of making content, images, videos that you cannot tell if it's real or not, like what will society be like at 50 years, 100 years when like there's no one will even pursue like, is that true or not? Because there won't be a way to determine if anything's true. And the freakiness of like, oh, we have a video of you committing murder. And that could just be someone set AI to make that video.
Yeah, we're already kind of arriving at this moment where there is no truth at all. And there's no...
Hence the expression "my truth," which is often used in a wonderful way, but is also a little strange that we're qualifying truth.
Yeah.
We're going to be living in a reality where there are multiple realities happening all at once. And we're kind of headed there already.
And then once it's like, you're like a post-truth world, then everybody just retreats into their own subjective realities. And then
we war with the other realities. That's kind of what's happening.
Yeah.
Cool.
God.
Great.
Happy New Year,
It'll
everyone.
be fun.
These things make me perfectly fine with my age and the fact that I'm going to peace out in the next 25 years.
When we're fighting the reality wars at like 87, I'm just going to be like, just run me over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a good run in the 80s and 90s for the most part.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, just to grow up without a cell phone.
That was nice. I'm glad.
Idyllic experience.
Got that last taste of analog life.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Well, Kevin, thank you for joining us. Actually, would you stick around while we do our outros and thank some Patreons?
Of course.
All right. I realized that I forgot to cue this up, so you're going to have to edit this point.
I mean, I may or may not do that.
Well, everyone, let's see what happens when I
tell.
pull up the old... God, I forgot to make this list.
Oh, you don't even have the list.
No, I don't even have the list.
Oh, wow. We're really...
Listen, I'm going to go pee.
I'm a little rusty.
This is off the rails.
Do you need to go pee?
I got a list right here.
But I'll pop back in as soon
that
as
not
I
it?
can.
That's not it.
Oh, it's a different
I meant
list.
to replace it. Go pee.
I see.
Okay, tell me the last name on that list.
The last name is Doze.
Okay, great. Kevin's leaving anyway. Okay.
All I've been doing is consuming caffeine today.
He's heavily caffeinated.
I know, I kind of am too. New member. Okay. Next. That would have been back in mid-October. Okay. Ooh. Did we do Swan Draper? I think we did. Is Swan Draper on that list?
No. Nope.
Okay. Back. River, Mary Smith, Noah Brussard, Trill I Am 80. These sound familiar. I'm going to start here. Oh, yeah, because we would have recorded before then. Boop, 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 ba, ba, ba. Okay. Reach out and touch me, babe. Whoa.
you guys just waiting on me?
No, we're waiting on him.
I'm ready. You guys want to do this?
Okay.
Here. Okay, here we go.
I'm going to leave all this in.
God.
Yeah,
Just
that'd
like
be amazing.
It all comes to a screeching
Really
halt.
like postmodern
Okay, here we go.
podcast. Yeah. Okay, we're back.
All right, let's give a thanks to some friends who recently joined us over on BCC, The Other Side, the parallel dimension of Bigfoot Collectors Club, where you get 3 bonus episodes every month, or you can upgrade to the Cosmic Tier membership to get 3 bonus exclusive music tracks from Riley, as well as ad-free episodes like the one that you're listening to right now. That's all over at patreon.com/Bigfoot Collectors Club. Let's thank Skadoozy,
Thanks, Skadoozy.
Brigham Anderson,
Thank you.
Carrie Zeckner,
Thanks, Carrie.
Jonathan Resendez. Welcome back,
Thanks.
Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Lucy Gartside.
Thanks, Lucy.
Joshua Bruha.
Oh, Josh the Witch. Thank you.
My mom would always say brouhaha as a thing. I thought that was kind of funny when I was a kid. I don't know. Athena the Wise.
Ah, thank you, Athena.
An oracle. Sim-dependent woman. Someone who likes to play The Sims.
Oh, but is also independent?
Yeah, sim-dependent woman.
All right. Well, thank you, sim-dependent woman.
Rachel B. Gittinger.
Thank you, Rachel.
Becca.
Thanks, Becca.
And Tenzin Chopak.
Thanks, Tenzin.
Thank you, all of you who have recently joined. If you didn't hear your name, you'll hear it in a future episode, I'm sure. Kevin, where can people find you?
What do you want my address?
In
Yeah.
your hedges.
Yeah, where can people hide in your hedges? Are you on social media? Do you have anything that you want to promote?
Man, I gotta get a life going. I ain't got no social media of interest.
Well, what are you on Instagram if people want to follow?
Okay, yes. Oh yeah, I would love like 50,000 followers.
Great. Yeah. Sign up, everybody.
What is it?
The Kevin Kirkpatrick.
No, yeah. Yeah.
Great.
I respect this so much.
This is great.
It's
Not
good.
even knowing
It's
your
not
head.
good.
No, it's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, I think it is at the Kevin Kirkpatrick on Instagram. We'll
There
tag
you go.
in all the
Give him a
things when
follow,
this comes out.
everybody.
Okay.
Give him a follow. We're going to skip Collector's Corner this week because we're running along. Riley, where can people find you?
Peace Drone, Instagram, and follow the show on YouTube.
That's right. Follow
Yeah.
us over at YouTube, at Bigfoot Collectors Club on Instagram for some visual aids for this story of high strangeness. And I'm at McMills over on Instagram as well. We're also on Blue Sky. That's a new thing that's happened
Oh, yeah.
since we've
Have
been
we-
on hiatus.
What's
Have we-
Blue Sky?
It's nicer Twitter,
It's
I
a
guess?
nicer Twitter for now.
Which I thought Threads was supposed to be, but then that just turned into boring Twitter,
Yeah,
I
it was
guess.
really boring. So Blue Sky Social, at Bigfoot Collectors Club, Blue Sky Social, we're over there. So come join us if you're over at that party. All right, everyone, we appreciate you. Thanks for hanging with us during the hiatus. We're so excited to kick off 2025. We got some fun stuff planned for y'all. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode of BCC. Until then, good night.
And go get regressed.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Perfect. Go get what? Regret?
Bigfoot Collectors Club is produced and engineered by Riley Bray and executive produced by Riley Bray and Michael McMillan. Our theme song, Come Alone, is by Suneaters, courtesy of Lotuspool Records. Follow Suneaters on Spotify. For 3 bonus episodes every month and ad-free episodes, check out BCC The Other Side at patreon.com/BigfootCollectorsClub.